Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 26 of Direwolf20's Let's Play. Just logging in my world now, and if you guys didn't notice a small little change to something, I'm going to highlight it right now. This guy, the transmutation table, looks a little thinner than it did before, doesn't it? That's because I'm using Equivalent Exchange 1.29. Quick update that Xeno did to a bunch of cool stuff. It has a lot of pretty much mostly bug fixes and some changes to the transmutation table. First off, the transmutation table has this burn slot, and you can immediately burn items in there to build up the internal EMC of the table. So that's a pretty neat addition. It also gave you more target slots on the side here, so you can get more items out at a time, like more options and whatnot. He also tweaked the way pulling items out works. However, convenient inventory is being a bit of a nuisance, and it's interfering with the way items come out of the table. So anyone who's had problems shift clicking items out of this table because they're using convenient inventory like I am are still stuck in the same boat. The only other thing you guys should be aware of before you decide if you want to upgrade or not is that the transmutation table has lost its knowledge of all its items, which is a sad thing. But it was necessary because Xeno had to change the way data was stored in the transmutation table. So if you do upgrade from 1.1 to 1.29, your transmutation table will forget everything it knows. So in order to resolve this, I'm going to spend a few minutes here with NEI, and I'm basically going to turn it on for cheat mode, give myself a few items that I really don't want to have to duplicate, and teach my transmutation table, and then I'll delete them. For example, I'll grab a diamond. There we go, and teach it to my transmutation table. Learned, hooray, everybody's happy, and then I will trash it right away. So why don't I spend a few minutes doing that, and I'll be right back. Alright, turning cheat mode back off here. Basically just finished teaching it a few things, not nearly as much as I had before. Let's see, what do I got in here? Yeah, I taught it some red matter, some dark matter, taught my alchemical chest back, some of the fuel sources, diamonds, yada yada yada, and most of the lower tier stuff. I didn't spend a huge amount of time doing this, of course. You know, it's not that big a deal. It's easy to reteach your table, and if I run into something in the future where I don't have what I want, well, I'll live. For now, I want to get started doing some more stuff this episode. I mentioned the whole bog earth thing I'm going to implement. I'm starting to get a good amount of energy stored up in my Klein star here. I think it's pretty close to the time for me to start adding things in. I don't quite have enough for another collector Mark III, but I might want to get either that or something else. I guess we'll see how it goes. So I'll be back in a few once I am ready to start crafting all kinds of cool stuff. Alright guys, so one thing I'm going to do real quick before I get started on this is to grab another one of my friends, the automatic crafting tables, dig around in my alchemy bag here for 1 basic logistics pipes and 2 glowstone dusts. And I'm going to craft this guy up as shown. Regular old crafting logistics pipe. And my automatic crafting table here. And I want to teach my system how to craft right here. 3 copper plus tin equals 4 bronze ingots. I have some things in this system using bronze ingots, but I've yet to teach my system how to make them. So now we shouldn't have any problems making bronze ingots, which is a good thing because I'm going to be using them probably going forward for a few things. Let's check now just to make sure it's here somewhere-ish, maybe. There it is. Bronze ingot, 0. So I can grab 8 of them. That sounds cool. And they should start flowing my way in just a moment. I just saw a bunch of things flying through the pipes. And they'll come back out. There they are. Thank you very much. Let's craft it up, shall we? I'm going to craft just 2 of these sturdy machines. And maybe I should add these guys to my crafting table at some point. And what am I looking for here? You can see they're used for almost everything. But there it is, peat bog. So I'm going to need some copper ingots in the corner. And that'll take care of my peat bog for me. So why don't I get that thing ready, and I'll be right back. And while I'm poking around in here, I should probably also note the turbary is what's used to harvest your peat, and I'm going to need some clay for that. So I'll grab my 4 copper. I'm ready with that guy. Why don't I go outside and look around for some clay? I'm sure I can find some relatively soon. Didn't take me long to find it in the past, so hopefully I can find a bit more now. I'll be right back after I've looked around long enough for some clay. Hey, there's some clay. I knew there would be a few down here in this lake next to my quarry. Can always rely on that. Alright, so I've got 4 clay and my 2 sturdy machines. Copper in the corners will get me the peat bog, and that's what's going to lay down all that bog earth and grow it into peat, and the turbary here is going to harvest it. So like most forestry mechanisms, there's 2 machines, one that puts down the stuff to grow, and the other that harvests the stuff that's going to grow. So let's run off in this direction here and decide where exactly I want to place my peat farm. Alright, now the peat bog is a bit larger than the tree farm. The tree farm was 6 blocks in each direction for a total of 13 by 13. This guy is going to actually be a little bit bigger. He's going to be 15 by 15, which means we'll have to have him 6 blocks or 7 blocks in each direction. So right here is where I have my forestry machine. So let's go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is where I'd place it if I wanted it right next to the thing, but I'm going to wind up putting it right here, and that's going to give me a 1 little block in between each. Now you can see I'm getting awfully close to my industrial craft farm here, and that's probably going to be an issue. So I'm going to want to move this farm somewhere else, I think. I might just collect all my farm stuff for the moment. There we go. Just picking all this stuff up real fast. And what I'll do is probably just figure out where I want to move these goodies for now. How am I doing on inventory? I'm alright. I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff right here. There we go. And how about I'll come back after I've cleaned up this farm, because it's just in my way for where I want all my forestry farms and whatnot. And for now, I'm just placing all these unknown seeds and all this cool stuff in this chest, and I'll come back to industrial craft farming in the future. Don't worry, it's not something I've forgotten about. It's just I haven't gotten around to it yet. There's still plenty to do. So I'm going to go sleep through the night here, and then what I'll do is start getting ready to process my peat bog and my turbary. These guys are pretty neat. So let's run over here. And I'm going to pull off frequency 1 again. And I know that last episode I explained to you guys all the perils of using the same frequency across multiple machines. But the quarry and the loggers here and the peat bog are all going to be pulling energy all at the same time. So I'm not going to worry too much about being an issue. And I might want to just move this guy over 1 more block and place down my peat bog. So let's do that. And then underneath, I'm going to need some power teleport pipes. How am I with my inventory of power and teleport pipes and all that? I'm going to need my golden conductives. And, oh yeah, I've got plenty of item teleports. Good. I can craft myself up one. Just one will do for now, because I'm using frequency 1 still. And don't worry, like I said, forestry machines, I'm wasting energy by running my forestry machines all the time with those engines. So that's the reason I'm building this peat farm. I'm going to go with frequency 1 and can receive true. And get out of the hole in the ground here. And look, because I did estimate this thing to be a little bit large, that's good, because it gave me room for pretty much, yeah, everything's looking nice. I have a little 2 space between my main farm here and that one, so that looks cool. And I'll collect all these goodies, and while I'm waiting for this thing to dig out, what I'm going to wind up doing here is crafting the resources and whatnot to supply my peat farm. So let's get another one of these things out. Do I have lapis in here? Good, I do. And I'll get my basic logistics pipes. I'm probably going to need a few of them. And let's get out our Philosopher's Stone to craft the supplier pipe we're going to need for this. And as you know, the supplier is going to keep my peat farm well supplied. So maybe I'll do the same thing I did last time and just dig out all around this, except for a 1 by 1. That might look pretty nice. Yeah, I like the looks of that. And it looks like we've got a bunch of dirt here ready to be picked up. I'll go deposit all this junk back in my chest, back in my house to get sorted. There we go. So first off, this peat bog needs bog earth. Okay. Now, it's going to do the same thing that this guy's doing over here. And I want all the excess bog earth to go out over frequency 1, the same way this thing's doing his thing. So do I have any diamond pipes in my thing here? I do not. So why don't I go get one for my house real fast? Pretty soon I'm going to want to start carrying one of those item teleport pipe, logistic pipe things, so I can always request whatever I want. But for now, I'm not going to grab it just yet. No diamond pipes, huh? Don't make me craft one of these. Let me just check to make sure. I thought I made some recently, but maybe not. No, I guess not. I could have sworn I had. Alright, let me get ready to craft one of those and I'll be right back. Alright, so good thing I retaught my transmutation table here how to make diamonds. I'm going to need 2 of them, of course. And we can go ahead and craft up a quick item teleport pipe. Or, no, I need to craft some diamond transport pipes, and I'll carry them around with me all the time just in case. Throw my dirt in here, don't need that stuff anymore. Let it get sorted properly. And let's head back in this direction now. So what I'm going to want to do is pretty similar to what I did over here. I'm going to set up the supplier pipe on that thing, and an item teleport pipe to come in. So let's go find a new frequency. I should have done this while I was back in my house, but I'm going to have to hook up another one of those item teleport pipe things. And maybe at some point I'll consider consolidating item teleportation frequencies. I believe I'm up to frequency 7, receiving true. Remember to receive true on both sides. See why I like these quantum leggings so much? Okay. So, right here I'll place my diamond teleport pipe and my supplier pipe here, and the item teleport here on frequency 7 can receive true, and that should give me the green light, making sure everything's good. Then I can run my smooth stone or cobblestone pipes, whatever I happen to have in my bag here. Smooth stone, cool. Right over here like this. And now this thing requires bog earth. So that will say any bog earth coming into this pipe will go down the red path, straight into there. And it outputs dirt. There we go. So dirt will go down the green path. Looks good to me. We're going to need our turbary placed down, but I'm not going to enable his power just yet. I just want him to be there for when items come out. The items will come out of the turbary, and the only thing that's really going to come out of this thing is the peat, I believe. So I can just hook both of these things up to frequency 1. There we go, and receiving false. So now this thing should output its peat into frequency 1, and this guy will send all its dirt down the green path, again to frequency 1. And now we just have to tell our peat bog to supply itself. So let's get a wrench here, open this guy up, and tell him to, click through up to 32. You can shift-click this, but convenient inventory, again, being a nuisance, is not a good friend of shifting and clicking and all that stuff with other mods. So let's close this inventory, and we should start seeing some peat bog stuff flowing into the system. And because it's already being powered, we should start seeing it laid down immediately for the most part. So let's see what happens. Probably waiting at the moment on those water things. There we go. Just got some bog earth thrown down. Sweet. So this is going to be a few minutes here. If we want to go run back to our base, how about we just do this? Then we can run back and forth and watch the cool stuff happening. So if we run back in here, we should see that there's a bunch of items flowing through. And this thing sitting there trying to fill up its wax capsules with water. Cool. Yep, there they go. So wax capsules going all over the place. Items flowing in, doing everything it can to keep up the supply that's being requested of the peat bog generator. And this thing will take a few minutes to fill up, but in the future, going forward, we're not going to have to wait too long for this thing. And now all we need to do with this peat bog is wait. just a little bit of time will go by and it'll start growing its peat. And like I said, I'm not connecting the power to the turbo yet because I want to kind of be here when it's ready to roll. So looking good. Excellent. Alright, so I'll be back in a few minutes once either some of the stuff has grown or I have something else to build. And just wanted to note that my peat bog is fully supplied now. Just waiting for some more bog earth to come in, but it looks like this guy's going to work out pretty well for us. And like I said, I want to keep an eye on this thing when it runs, so I still haven't connected power down here just yet to this thing. But I will in the future, very soon as I can. And while I'm waiting for that bog earth stuff to grow, I want to address an issue in this room. It's not big enough. At least, not big enough for now. I could expand more on this side of the room, but I was kind of thinking maybe I'd want to put all kinds of other machines on this side of the room, like furnaces and all this other crazy stuff. So what I'm going to do for now is get ready to expand this room a little bit and use a new item, a new toy, to do it. Alright, so let's see what kind of juice I've got sitting here in my Mark III relay. Lots, huh? Nice. Let's dump it all into my Klein Star. Producing a lot of EMC recently. That's a good thing. I'm going to need it. I'm going to turn some of this energy, hopefully not too much of it, into a piece of red matter. Boom. Yeah, took 200,000 energy out of there, but that's alright. It's going to be well worth it. Let's go get some of the items we're going to need to craft this thingy I want to craft. Where is my stuff? Looking for something in particular here. Hey, there's some bricks. That's cool. And there's one more item I'm going to need here from my Klein Star, and that's a diamond. Awesome. Let's get to crafting, shall we? I'm going to place this guy here, these things here, a diamond. What could Direwolf be making? It is the Mercurial Eye. This is something I've really been looking forward to. Quite a bit, actually. I'm really looking forward to this piece. It's a pretty neat tool. And I'm going to go ahead and just grab myself a few more bricks. There we go. Just want to resupply my bricks, at least have 8, and make sure my transmutation table can handle it. Mercurial Eye is, in a word, awesome. I love this little toy. There's so many cool things you can do with it. And let's go into what they can all do now. For the moment, I'm just going to dump my bricks back in here. So the Mercurial Eye has the old powers that the Philosopher's Stone used to have, and I can use it to build stuff. But instead of pulling items out of your inventory like it used to, if I hit C on the Mercurial Eye, you can see that there's 2 slots here. One for what's going to go into the target block, and you can see it requires 1 EMC to place down cobblestone, or 1 EMC to place down smooth stone. And I just put my Klein Star in there. You can see the current value that is stored in the Klein Star. And then all I got to do here is press G to switch it to extension mode, creation mode, or transmutation mode. They're all pretty cool. And pillar extension mode, which is new to me. I have to figure out what that does. But let's go ahead and dig out this wall just a little bit. So I'm going to grab the destruction catalyst here, tone it down a little bit, don't need it to be that powerful, and I should probably grab my Klein Star back out so I have the fuel to run this little toy. Just digging out here, don't mind me. And I do want this room to be a little bit longer than it currently is. So let's charge it up like 2 and make sure I'm facing the right direction here, and boom. That looks good. And I can even dig out a little bit on the roof. I might as well even dig all the way out. Pretty good. Oh yeah, looking nice. Is there a little bit more I have to dig? Well, that's alright. I think we're good here. So I'm going to take my Mercurial Eye here. Again, I'm going to place just 1 piece of stone in here as my target block. I'm going to place my Klein Star back in. So I no longer need to have items in my inventory to extend. I'm going to switch this to extension mode and just click right here. Maybe not. Do I have to charge it up once? Hey, yeah, 1 little charge, and I can do that. Now if I want to charge it again, I get a larger bit of extension. Pretty spiffy, right? Very spiffy, as a matter of fact. I think that's a good level. And of course I could be charging it higher to get a larger block of creation, but that's alright. I'm going to extend this guy like so. And just double check out here to make sure I'm not... yeah, it's good. I didn't want it to go too high. I'll go check out on my roof in a bit though, just to make sure everything's good. Let's keep extending this guy. Looking sharp. Gonna need some light, of course. Yeah, don't want to forget light. That's an important part of this room. And we'll extend this guy as well. Now, what I can also do, which is pretty darn nifty, is change this guy to transmutation mode. And what that does is it takes whatever I have in my target slot and transmutes anything I click on to that targeted slot. How cool is that? Right? So I can just transmute everything directly. Very cool. And the other neat thing is I can, of course, transmute coal, which has a higher EMC value than stone. At some point here, if I figure out the right way to click it. Oh well, I'll figure that out later. But you are able to transmute, maybe because it's coal I can't transmute it directly, just because that's considered a, you know, an energy value. Now the other cool thing is we can really target anything in here. So what if I were to take out my stone and place in a piece of glass? Ooh, nifty. Ha! Cool. Automatic skylight. Nice. Perfect. Now, of course, I like to make these things 2x2. So, and I have to play with this thing a little bit to get the hang of exactly how to work it. But, you get the gist of what I'm doing here, right? I mean, there we go. That looks good. So I can transmute this stuff pretty much however I want. And what will happen is if you're transmuting from a higher version of something to a lower energy value of something, it'll store the energy directly in the Klein star. And of course it'll take energy out of the Klein star to transmute up from a lower version to a higher version, or to create, etc., etc. So, just got a nice bit of transmutation going on. And maybe even, can I transmute to glowstone? That would be cool. Let's take this thing out of here. And try that. Just one piece of glowstone, please, Mr. Klein Star. And then I'll put this guy back in here and get glowstone. And you can see glowstone is worth 1500 EMC, so that's going to be a little bit expensive, but hey, it works. Nice. Obviously, you know, using up some of the energy out of my Klein Star to do that, but pretty darn cool, if I do say so myself. Alright, so now I've got a much larger room here. I'm going to want to move this guy back a bit. I don't think I can pick this thing up with my portal gun, can I? I think we tried picking up chests and it didn't work. Nope. Oh well. I'll have to store my stuff somewhere else. But now I think we're pretty good. I'm going to go dump all this dirt and whatnot into my chest here. I don't need this stuff. Sweet. So yeah, the Mercurial Eye, a very cool toy. And if I wanted to, even to make things look extra spiffy in this room, how about we just go right over here and snag a marble brick. And I'm going to open up my Mercurial Eye here and place the marble brick in the target slot. Ta-da! All you guys who are complaining that I haven't updated my marble brick room floor yet, your wish is granted. Ta-da! You can really use this to redecorate your entire house or anything you want as far as you want. It's pretty awesome. I'm just going to run down here, redecorate a little bit. Looking nice. Alright. So I'll be back in a few minutes once I've got some more stuff to build. And those of you who have requested windows to the outside world, yeah, I don't like the looks of that. It just doesn't fit right with the theme. maybe, yeah, see? It would have to be something like this. And you can have multiples in there. It's fine. See? No, I don't like that being there at all. It just doesn't look right. Maybe at some point I'll add windows for you guys, but for now, we're going to stick with stone walls. And guys, I'm just stepping out here to check out this pillar mode, because I wasn't sure what it did. And it's actually pretty crazy. Keep in mind now that I have the lowest version of this thing on, and I'm just going to click on this block right here. Kaboom! Look how far back this went. Like, whoa, serious business. So it creates like this, I guess it's like a 3x3 pillar, it looks like it's creating. And it just goes and extends like super far. So pretty cool. Don't use that inside your house, and be careful with it, because it's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, I don't have any juice. There we go, much better. So let me go dump all this junk back into my chest here. And remember, every time you use your Mercurial Eye, you are using a bit of EMC for each block that you create. So if you create 64 blocks, you're using 64 EMC. That's if it's one block per EMC. If you're creating a bunch, it's going to require a bunch and all that other good stuff. So keep that in your minds as you're using this toy. But it is seriously awesome for redecorating. Like, I could really just go like run around my house and make it all bricks right now if I wanted to, or I can make it whatever. I mean, it's just cool like that. And now that I'm done playing with that little thing, I came out here and noticed that there's a whole bunch of peat hanging out. Now, I am going to want to, tell my sorting chest how to handle peat, but for now I'm just going to put some power on here. So let's get this guy off my hotbar for now. We don't want any mistakes. Just going to grab a golden conductive pipe, and boom, just like that. And it should start picking up the peat from this peat bog and sending it out, there it goes, through my teleport pipe. And it's going to turn it all into dirt. And then the dirt is going to quickly be replaced by peat and sent through here, as you can see, back to my main area. So that peat bog is doing its thing, producing dirt and peat. Sweet. So let's grab some of this peat that it's pulling in here and tell it that, well, we'll say green chest. That sounds like a good spot for peat to go. So now that we've directed it down the right path, instead of going white, it's going to go the other way. Alright, so I got 7 pieces of peat in there. If I go down to my miscellaneous junk line, overflow chest, there it is, peat. Nice. Let's go ahead and put our peat in our forestry item slot. Looks like we're getting a lot of wood here. A lot of wood. That's alright though. We'll have a lot of uses for it going forward. A bunch of stuff coming in, looking awesome. Gotta love this sorting system, don't you? Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite creations ever. So let's head back over here to our peat bog, and everything should be back to bog earth. Nice. Now, one thing I've been considering doing is maybe just, I don't know, completely disabling these entire machines with the flip of a switch. Maybe not just yet, but at some point I might want a control room where I can turn on and off my peat bogs and whatnot, just to, have a little bit more control over when they run. Because once you get these things up and running, you really start producing a lot. As you guys noticed, I have tons of wood at the moment, and that's cool, but for now I might be getting to the point where I don't need quite as much wood as I've got. But we'll see. And if I suppose that I want to be all nice and proper about this, I'll just run this thing right along here to the end of this room and place this little guy right here. And we'll make him our new default route. So let's grab our wrench, right click this dude, default route yes, and knock this thing off here and just make this a smooth stone pipe. And I can now knock this thing off, collect all the stuff that's inside of it. There we go. And I'll run down here and place my chest back down. And then under the floorboards, I'm going to place down another one of the stone transport pipes and the provider pipe that I had collected a moment ago. Nice. And then I can clean my floor back up. So this thing should be repopulated. I'll throw all this junk in here that I don't really need to have. Sure, why not? I think those sticks are mine, but who knows. No, I think they belong in there. Not my alchemy bag, though. What am I thinking? Alright, so now let's see what other cool stuff we want to get done. Alright, I want to get myself some more redstone because I'm running a little bit low on the stuff, and I want to try and get as much as I can to help fuel my industrial craft stuff. So why don't we dump some energy in here from my Klein star. That'll be good. And that'll help me get a lot of redstone. Oh yeah, look at that. Plenty of EMC in there. Fueling that. I'm going to just get a handful. I don't want to use too much of it out of my main chest there. And in the future, like I said, I might wind up building a Klein star specifically for the purpose of going into that deployer. But I want to go produce some more lava. I'm going to go do that real quick right now. Alright, running downstairs, going into the access of my room back here. And we'll flip the lever to allow this thing to start running again. And as you can see, we've got plenty of power going on here. Perfect. Yeah, the timing is just right. Well, maybe not. Maybe it needs to be a little bit faster. Alright, let's bump this guy up to 4 seconds and see how well he does. Yeah, 4 seconds looks to be the ideal time for this. Maybe not. Maybe it's a little bit random on how long it takes for that thing to pull out. Let's go with just 5 for, like, you know, just for the sake of it. Be nice and careful with it. Obviously, it looks like it's a little bit random. And here I thought 3 was perfect all along. My bad. 4? Yeah, I guess it is a little bit random on how long it takes for that thing to pull the lava out. I guess 5 it is. Alright, we'll leave it at 5 for now. So it's not a huge amount of lava being produced, but oh well, what can you do? Lava is lava, right? And I'm letting this thing fill up. Why don't I go ahead and flip on the lever here and get my geothermals cooking. Nice. Alright, more energy being produced, and I'll be back in a little bit. And guys, I just used some of that energy to refill my quantum suit leggings. As most of you should know, when you're using it and zipping around all over the place, it is draining energy out of the quantum suit legs. So I did have to get some more lava in there to start filling that thing back up. And unfortunately, it looks like this is a pretty good wrapping up point for episode 26. So this is Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed checking out the peat bog and all the awesomeness that is the Mercurial Eye. Stay tuned for next episode when I should have enough peat to start changing up the way I power all these neat little farms and whatnot. Take it easy, guys.